Hey, how's it going? Jim here. I'm going to move this camera up a little bit. How about that? Okay. How's it going, Vanners? Just wing it again. Glue the two halves together. Okay. Let it sit for about 2 days now. It's Sunday. September, I think it's 20th or something like that. But anyways, mixed up a whole quart of fiberglass resin. And to mix it so it cures slowly, what I do is I put lacquer thinner in it. You're supposed to use acetone, but lacquer thinner today is not as strong, so you got to use a little bit more. What that does, that slows down the process of the chemical reaction between the resin and the hardener, because you don't want this thing to burst into flame. It's starting to get warm now. But anyways, whole quart of that. I would say about a third of a pint, maybe about a half a pint of lacquer thinner in there. Mixed it up. That stuff, it flows into that hole. So I didn't show everybody about these here bolts. Since the wing was in three pieces, and you have a top and a bottom, what I did was I put those claw nuts inside there, filled out all with resin. I think I showed you that in the other video. And then I put it back up on the roof, relocated the new bolts with more castle nuts or claw nuts, and those bolts are like yay long. They go directly through the bottom of the side of the roof, which is it's going to be a solid piece of 1x stock, 1/8 inch thick, so you get that extra meat, because that roof is going to be strengthened. Because you're driving down the road, this thing's going to want to move up and down. So I'm putting all new supports in the roof, and that's what I was doing while this was drying the past day or two. So now those bolts go through the roof into the wing, and then it captions into those claw nuts. And I just mixed a quart of resin, because in the previous video you noticed I laid fiberglass mat inside the channels, and I think I put about technically 2 layers, but over here where there was a lot of divot, I put about 3 or 4 layers. But anyways, I wove those across each other, kind of like a basket weave. Just tilted it upside down like this, basically just like that, and I poured the resin in the hole, and she's just getting hard now. It's been about, because the lacquer thinner makes it so it slows the process, because the lacquer thinner has to evaporate first, and then it starts curing, because you don't want this thing to burst into flames. But it's starting to get warm now, especially right in here, because I've been rotating. I put a whole quart in there, so I've been rotating it all inside. I let it sit on the bench for about 5 minutes, because you want that process slow, so you can get all the mat saturated. So I've had it laying upright like this. It filled all the pinholes down there, because it started oozing out. I lay it down there. Basically just rotate it every couple of minutes. 5-10 minutes, I rotate it. I put it upright like this, because you can feel the difference of the density now. I put it upright like this, so it flattens out, and then I turned it over like so, like that. So anyways, there it is. And I'm just leaving it sit like that, because it's turned to jelly, because it's starting to get hot right in here. Yeah, it's starting to heat up now, and that's a good thing. It's definitely it's getting really hard now. This is awesome. You can feel it starting to get warm all up inside here, and I'm trying to trying to get it. Yeah, she's starting to get real warm now. It's cold in here. I'm pretty sure I got enough in there. Because it started oozing out here. It just hasn't caught up to it yet. Eventually it's gonna start hardening up. But anyways, I mixed up another quart. Again, 1 quart of resin, 1/3 cup of lacquer thinner, and you can tell if there's any bubbles left in there if it doesn't mix. It takes a couple minutes to mix this up. Again, you're supposed to use acetone, but I don't have any, so it's not going to really matter. Resin don't care. Lacquer thinner, today's lacquer thinner is not, like I said, it's not as potent. So, and this is for epoxy and lacquers and stuff like that. So you can see it flows off the thing. But we're gonna allow that to. We're gonna let that rest a little bit longer. And she's starting to get real warm now. Do the same thing. I'll let this dry for about an hour now, because it's gonna start getting real hot. You pour that in there, that thing will burst into flames. That's like a freaking bomb waiting to happen. So let this thing cure for a little bit longer. Repeat the process. Pour that whole thing in the hole and just fill that thing up. And then at the same time, on the last one, once this starts turning to jelly, I put a piece of tape on this hole. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on the next one, that should fill the rest of it. I'm going to put about 4 layers of this inside that hole, and that'll be the plug. It'll be good as new, just like factory, because it's matte. This is a lot stronger. This is what they use. But that'll seal up that hole real good. And a little bit of filler around the sides to fill the line in. Sand it down, prime it, paint it so it matches the van. Brand new. And in the end, I got a brand new vintage Mach Mustang wing, and in turn I could probably sell it for $1,000, $1,500. Depends on who you want to sell it to and if they like it or not, because that's what they cost. But not bad for a $10 investment. And it looks so badass on that sucker. So have a good day, fan tubers.